Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm excited to do. It is going to be my makeup monthly for the month of November. Ooh, ooh. Alright, if you are new to my makeup monthly series, I'm going to go through a bunch of the products that I've been trying recently, try to give some speed reviews on them. I'm going to talk about my favorites, I'm going to talk about my fails, and I'm going to talk about the products that I thought were just okay. I do always include a creator shout out in these videos, and I do have one book review to share at the end, one of my favorite books that I read in the month of November. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, I did want to say that I do have an Instagram video coming on this look. I did my eyes and then a few new products on my face that are from my recent Ulta Beauty haul. So if you haven't seen that video, it will already be up by the time this one goes up. So I will link that one up in the cards, and the tutorial will be coming to my Instagram, which is March Beauty Word. I share a lot of my looks over there. But to get started, so I do start it off with my fail category so we can just get it out of the way. I only have one product to share about this month, but it was really bad. It was really bad. Okay, so it's this mascara, and it is from Blinc. It is their Mascara Amplified, yes, in Black Noir. It says, stop painting your lashes, tube them. So it's a tubing mascara, and I honestly have been liking tubing mascaras. I haven't always liked them in the past, but I've liked them more, and I found the ones that I really like right now, which I have a whole video ranking mascaras. If you want to see it, I can put it in the cards also. There's multiple tubing mascaras in there, and a lot of them are really good. I don't have any issues removing them. Sometimes that's what I was finding in the past. So I honestly thought I was gonna like this. Now, I purchased the Sephora Lash Stash in my recent Sephora haul, the big epic Sephora haul. If you haven't seen it, you really should. What was I talking about? So I purchased the Lash Stash in there with a bunch of mascaras. There's like a lash serum, lashes in there, and I have tried pretty much all of the mascaras that were in there except this one from Blinc. So it was the first one that I reached for, and I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed, and I actually mentioned this in one of my videos. I was talking about mascaras recently, and I said that I'd been trying this one from Blinc and I didn't like it at all, and there was multiple people that commented saying that you didn't like this mascara either. I said that I felt like it didn't do anything for me. It's one of those mascaras that, like, when I pull it out of the tube, I'm honestly like, I wonder where are you now? I don't know if there's mascara on here. I swear, like, that's an exaggeration obviously, but it's like, I swear nothing's happening to my lashes when I put this on, and it just surprises me for a tubing mascara. Usually you really can see a difference with them. So this is one that is not so good. I have moved on. There was, I think, just one other mascara that I hadn't tried in there, so I've moved on to that one, and I'm liking it a lot more. It's the one from Pat McGrath. Big fan of that one, but this one I would not recommend. I'm glad I got it in a set versus just like buying it on its own. All right, next up, moving over to my find category. So I like to include these products just so I can review some more products in here, not just a favorite, not just a fail. So I've been doing this find category for a couple years now. I tried out a new brow pencil. I do like trying out new brow pencils. I think that's fun, and this one was really, really affordable because it's from Essence. This runs for like $2.99, which is amazing. So this is their Micro Precise Eyebrow Pencil. It's supposed to be a waterproof brow pencil, and it is, you know, like really teeny tiny. It's just like a little teeny tiny brow pencil, but I like that. The Benefit Precisely My Brow is one of my favorites, and it's obviously, you know, again, a really precise brow pencil. So I like this one. I like it a lot. There's just a couple things for me that make it not be an absolute favorite. So it doesn't have a spoolie, which is like one of the biggest things, and that might sound really weird, but I always spoolie my brows, like brush them through before I do my brow pencil, and then I also do it again after I do my brows. So when I'm using this one, I'm having to go get another brow pencil or just my single spoolie so I can be able to complete my brows. So that's one thing that I don't love, but again, you know, it's $2.99. It's super affordable. I think that's great. The other thing though that I don't love is when I do my brows, I don't know if I'm just going through the product really quickly or if, like, when you press it down, the actual product like disappears. So I'm constantly having to stop and roll it back up, and then I do it like 3 strokes, and then I roll it back up. So that's just the other con. Those are really small things. I know. I still think it's a really good brow pencil. I would recommend it, but again, I'm not able to be like, this is my absolute favorite. I love this one so much. Obsessed with it. I'm just not able to do that, but it's really good. I'll keep using it. I have the shade. Let me tell you. Maybe I won't tell you. Maybe I'll just keep this a secret what my shade is. Haha, it's light brown. It's on the cap. That's tricky. I have the shade light brown. Honestly, it's kind of dark. When I do my brows with this, I feel like my brows are looking a little bit dark. So wanted to mention that for the shade. I feel like maybe the one lighter, which I don't know their whole shade range, but I feel like maybe the one lighter might not be so bad for me, but I also don't mind darker brows. So yes, I do like the Micro Precise pencil from Essence. All right, I have a couple products here from my girl, Charlotte Tilbury. All right, so I tried one of her lip jewels, right? I think that's what these are called. Okay, Charlotte, if I can tell you one thing, like let's pretend, you know, maybe we're at Pat's house right now, we're enjoying some wine. I brought the charcuterie board this time, trying to step it up with my friends. She often doesn't have the actual name of the product on the product. I've noticed that with a lot of her products. So then I come on camera and I'm like, what was this called again? I believe it's like I want to say like lip jewels, bejeweled lip jewel, something along those lines. But this is in Walk of No Shame. My lovely friend Michelle Wong gave this to me, which I was super excited about because, you know, I love trying Charlotte's products. This shade is really beautiful. Look at that, super pretty for fall also. And I do like, I like this product. Again, it's not one of those that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is an absolute favorite. I'm gonna wear it all the time. Especially Charlotte's prices are, you know, a little bit higher. But I think that it's really pretty. It's not super like goopy. It doesn't goop up on my lips. It's not sticky, which I, you know, do appreciate. There's this really pretty like gold sparkle in it. So it kind of gives the illusion of a little bit of like bigger lips. It's a little bit more of like a thinner consistency, which again, I like because it means it's not doing that like goopy upness feeling on my lips, and I like it. Again, not an absolute favorite, but I think that it's really pretty. I'll definitely keep wearing it, and I like the shade. And then the other product from Charlotte, I purchased this in a Sephora haul recently also, but this is the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. And this is the mini size, and it says party all night, stay all day. Okay, this definitely has some pros and cons, and I've touched on this a few times in other videos, but I wanted to include it in my review video. So the spray is like, it's a little bit aggressive. Like I like to, you saw how I sprayed it once and it was kind of like a little strange, and then I sprayed it again and it was like, that's kind of how it goes. So usually before I spray my face, I'll do one spray somewhere else and then I'll spray my face, because otherwise that first one is a little bit odd. When I first put it on, it does have almost that kind of like hairspray type of feeling. Like I can just feel a film on my face, and I don't really love that. After like, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, that feeling dissipates. I don't notice it anymore. But almost like right after I spray it too, like my face almost feels like tight. Like to like move my face around, it almost feels a little bit funny. But again, after a while, that kind of goes away. And then I do think that it holds up makeup really well. I was testing this days where I was wearing makeup underneath my mask and seeing how the transfer went. I really do feel like it locks everything into place. It's just not the most comfortable. And I feel like there's other setting sprays that really hold on to makeup, but they don't do that. Like the Urban Decay All Nighter, I still really like that one. And I feel like it doesn't have that kind of like odd consistency feeling to it like the Charlotte one does. But if you're someone who really is like all about locking your makeup all day, all night, I mean, this one is gonna do it for you. It's just, again, it's good. Like I'll keep using it, but I tend to reach for other ones over this, if that makes sense. Alrighty, and then before I move over to my beauty favorites, I do like to do a creator shout out. I've been doing this for a couple years in my videos. I love the term community over competition. I love to be able to share other people, and it's just one of my favorite parts of my Makeup Monthly video. So this month I wanted to shout out Fumi. Now you have heard me mention her in videos in the past. I recently did a face palette declutter collection style. It was a little tricky video. I recently did that one, and I talked about her collaboration that she did with Juvia's Place, which is such an amazing, it was an amazing collection. That's an amazing palette. And Fumi is just such a sweet soul. She's someone who I've been able to connect with, like in Instagram DMs. She's so supportive. She's so nice. I don't know how many like great terms I could say to describe Fumi, but I just think that she's such a wonderful person. I will have her YouTube video linked down below. If you haven't yet followed her or checked out her videos, please make sure that you do. Let her know that I sent you. She does beauty videos, but she also does fashion videos, and her fashion, I mean, her videos and her photos, I'll just be scrolling along Instagram and then it's like, bam, there she is, an amazing outfit, and I'm like, cool. I mean, she just has beautiful style, and some of her makeup looks that she does, like her eye looks, are so crazy beautiful. Like I look at them and I'm like, I will never be able to do that, but you look amazing. Like, she's so talented, and again, she's such a nice person, so supportive. Once again, I feel like someone who's like community minded, and I highly recommend that you go check her out. All right, moving over to talk about some of my beauty favorites. Let's see where to start. Okay, so I did make a repurchase of these, so clearly I know that that means that they are a favorite, but it's actually a pair of lashes, and these are from House of Lashes and Patrick Ta. They are the I Mean lashes. I like these so much. I mentioned in, it would have been my last makeup monthly, that I had recently found the Lily Lashes lash adhesive, and that has really changed the game for me. I have sensitive eyes, so a lot of times lash adhesives or glue really bother me. So when I wear lashes, I generally have reactions on my eyelids, and it's not cute. It's not a good thing. But the Lily Lashes really was a game changer for me, and it's been so fun to like be able to incorporate lashes once again into my makeup looks, because before it was just, it's really hard to do something when you know your eye is going to be puffed up like 4 times the size the next day. It's really hard to like get excited to put lashes on for it, and now I feel like I'm actually excited again. But the I Mean lashes, the band is so easy to work with. It's comfortable, it's lightweight, it's not too thick, yet it's not too thin where it's like impossible to try to get the adhesive on it. And I think I Mean is so pretty. And I feel like I Mean is just a really pretty style. So I purchased these before, and then I purchased them in my most recent Sephora haul, and I think that they're good ones. All right, a face duo that I have been loving. I mentioned this one again in my face palette declutter collection video, and I said, first of all, how beautiful it is just looking at it, but the actual products inside I think are so gorgeous. This is from Sigma Beauty. This is a part of their holiday collection, so like just look at how stunning this is. And this is their Rose Glow Cheek Duo. So inside you do have the Corda Rosa blush, which is kind of like an old school staple from Sigma Beauty, and then you do also have the highlighter in Gilded. These are just, they're beautiful. I'm just swatching the blush right now. It's so soft and smooth, and then so is the highlight, but it's like beautifully blinding at the same time. Like, they're so pretty. So once again, like, Sigma always does so good on their holiday collections, but I love the glittery packaging, and I love that it's glittery without being like actual glitter. Like, I can hold it and touch it. I'm not getting glitter all over me, because that is the worst, because then you're just always bathed in glitter and there's nothing you can do about it. But then the inside too, I'm such a fan of this. I would highly recommend it from Sigma. But if you're looking for a good cheek duo, I would highly recommend this one from Sigma. All right, this is a new bronzer. This is gonna be like one of the most shocking parts of this video. I don't know if you guys are ready for it. I used this recently on camera in a get ready with me like try on haul style video, so I can link that one up in the cards. And you see my face like not really sure about this product, not really sure, and then I put it on, I'm like, wait a second, I actually really like this. And it has been so hard for me to not use this. Like, there was a time where it was like 4 makeup looks in a row and I just kept using this bronzer, and I was like, maybe I should use something else. Like, I have a lot of bronzers, but I'm shocked how much I enjoy it. It's from Soul Body, which is one of the sister brands to ColourPop, and it is their Face and Body Bronzing Balm, and I have the shade Light. It's a cream bronzer, y'all. I don't know. I don't know who I am. I'm a completely changed person from January 2020 Samantha to end of year 2020 Samantha. I don't know what happened. This year has changed me in so many ways that I had not expected to be changed, but this is a beautiful bronzer. I have just like, I'm so surprised how much I enjoy it. But again, you can see it in that get ready with me video that I'm like, wait a second, this is nice. So this is a swatch of that bronzer. When I first pulled it out, I was like, I don't know, it kind of looks like a little bit orange. I don't know if it's gonna be a good shade match for me, but it is. It's super easy to blend out. Like, it's not dry at all. It's a really interesting texture. Like, it's almost, it's called a balm. Like, it's almost more like liquidy. It's a very interesting texture to try to describe, but it makes it so easy to work with. So, like, I barely have to blend it out. It just like kind of happens. And I'm like, wow, okay, that was neat. I didn't really have to do anything. How awesome. And it stays on for a long time. It's great. I'm shocked at how much I enjoy this, but I would highly recommend these from Soul Body. All right, I actually have two eyeshadow palettes that I've been really loving over the past month that I wanted to mention to you. So one is from Lawless Beauty, and this is the Baby One palette. This palette is so cute. Okay, I really like I like Lawless Beauty as a brand a lot. I really do like their eyeshadow palette formula. It's so easy to work with. It's so easy to build up and blend out. They have a larger palette. They also have the little one. This is the baby one, which is so cute because Annie Lawless, the creator, founder of Lawless, had a baby girl a few months ago. So I thought that it was super special to come out with this. And when I looked at this palette, I mean, obviously, let's look at it and be like, hey Samantha, I bet that you would like that palette. Yes. Yes, I think that it's absolutely beautiful. And something about these shades though, they do something that I wasn't expecting, because it's like you look and you feel like I don't know how to explain this, so like bear with me for a second, but it's like you look and you're like, okay, yes, I know what that shade is going to look like. But then you actually put them on the eyes and it's almost like they almost like shift a little bit. It's even better than I thought that it was going to be. This shadow in particular, just look at that. That's absolutely stunning. And again, it has this kind of cool like shift reflective tone to it. It's beautiful and it takes the look to another level. I also love that it's so many mattes though. I love a good matte palette. I do really enjoy that there's two shimmers in here and they're two, you know, different shimmers. And then the 6 mattes, they're also beautiful. Again, really easy to blend. Even some of these darker shades can be a little bit harder for me to blend out. They're so easy to work with. I'm such a fan of this palette. The looks that I've done, oh, they've just been so pretty and I would highly recommend it. And then finally, the other palette I wanted to mention, I don't know, I was a little bit surprised by this one. So this is from ColourPop. This is their Star Wars Mandalorian The Child palette. I didn't really expect to enjoy this one as much as I did. You know, I've talked before, I'm not really familiar with the Baby Yoda and the Star Wars and all of that, so the collaboration part didn't really get to me, but I have been really into greens lately, and so this one I was like, okay, that's really pretty. But something about the quality in here it just really impressed me. And I like the ColourPop eyeshadow palettes. I think that they're fantastic, especially for the price. I think they're even more fantastic. But this one to me was just like on a different level. Once again, like the shimmers in here are beautiful. The mattes are super easy to use. But this was one that I just feel like it's a different, I mean, seriously, what is going on? Like, beautiful. This is one that I almost felt like was a different formula than what I'm used to from ColourPop, but in a better way, because I like their shimmers and I think that they work well. But when I was going into this palette for some of the shimmers, I was like really, you know, not like digging my brush into it, but like taking my time, building the product up on my brush, and then I put it on my eyes and I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't expecting it to be that poppin' and that good, especially with a dry brush. Like, I'm very impressed with this palette. And then the same happened with the Raw Beauty Christie collection. You guys know that I like to use products like a lot before I actually come on to give them like a full review, but I have a collection, or yes, I have a video with Christie's collection in 2 different looks. If you would want to check that one out, I can also link it up in the cards because I thought it was a fabulous collection also. But I've had the child palette for a little bit longer and I've used it more times, and I just really wanted to mention it because I thought it was a really good one. And ColourPop can release so fast. Like sometimes I feel like really good products don't get the full attention because we've already moved on to like the next 5 things. So wanted to mention the child palette from ColourPop and that I really did enjoy it. So that is everything beauty wise for me. Like I said, I do have one book review that I'm going to share with you also, but if you're not interested in the book part and this is where you leave me, I thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. But if you want to hear about the book that I gave a 5-star review to, let's hop into that. Alright, so I am also a book blogger. My blog is Chicklet Plus. I'll link that down below. And so I do a bunch of book reviews over there if you're ever interested in checking out something to read. And the 5-star book that I gave for the month of November is called Not Like the Movies, and this is by Kerry Winfrey. This is just like the definition of a rom-com, and it is so cute. I like chick lit and I like thrillers, like suspense novels. It's like it's my interests are from one spectrum to the other. But sometimes rom-coms cannot interest me as much because it's almost like a little bit too cutesy for me, and it's like I need, sometimes it just misses the mark. But this one I thought was just such a delight to read. Okay, so we follow Chloe, and she works at a coffee shop that's owned by her boss, Nick, and we kind of immediately sense that they have some sort of, you know, romantic tension between them. And as the story goes along, I kept thinking, I was like, it seems like maybe this is either in a series or there's been another book that's come out, because it talks about Chloe's best friend and how she always wanted to be a screenwriter, and she wrote a script based on Chloe and Nick, and now it's being made into like a motion picture, like big movie. And so finally, a few chapters in, I went back to see if there was another book, and there is, and I downloaded it to read it, but I haven't read it yet. It is called Waiting for Tom Hanks, and so that kind of explains the story from Chloe's friend's side of view, and how she gets entangled with an actor, and how she writes the screenplay and all of the things. But I will say that it never like deterred from what I was reading. I never was like, wait, like, so how did we get, and sometimes with series or like follow-up books, there kind of skips some like steps that we need to know. But this one, you really can read it as a standalone. But like I said, I downloaded it waiting for Tom Hanks, and I really do want to read that one just because I enjoyed the writing so much. It was just so fun, it's relaxed. But I also liked it because I felt it followed like a different script, and I think maybe that's another reason why I liked it so much, with it still being a rom-com, because our main character Chloe is bisexual. So within the first few chapters, she's talking about how she also still, you know, meets up to hang out with her ex-girlfriend and kind of how their relationship ended. And then also between her and Nick, she is the one that doesn't want to settle down. She is not really into the idea of marriage, where Nick is someone who that's kind of like what he envisions in his long-term relationships. And you know, we just usually follow the same standard, the same path of books, where it's, you know, it's always the girl that wants to settle down and get married right away, and the guy's like, oh, I'm not so sure. It's just like, it's what we see so often, and I feel like these days it's finally not being the norm. There's like, you know, there's just, people are so different, and it's just so refreshing to get that take in a book where it just doesn't feel like you're reading about the same people or the same script over and over again. So I was really appreciative of that. But it's just so good. You know, it definitely touches on some deeper subjects, like Chloe's father having Alzheimer's and how she's dealing with that, and just kind of her life falling apart at one end. And there was a couple times where I was like, ooh, she's not being the nicest girl. And the thing is though, is like, that happens. That's relatable. We all have our moments in life where it's like, oh, I kind of made some mistakes there, and people don't want to be around you. You know, that was happening with her friend and with Nick and her brother, and it was like people weren't wanting to be around her because she was being very selfish at some points. And it just, once again, it goes back to being refreshing to not having to always like play a perfect person or read about perfect people. You can actually read about when people do dumb things and mess up, and then how they get through that and how they make themselves better. I felt like there was a lot of life lessons in this book while still being a romantic comedy and just fun to read about. So I was so impressed with this book. I highly recommend that you read it. Not Like the Movies by Kerry Winfrey, and I'll definitely be reading Waiting for Tom Hanks also. I would not be shocked if that was in my favorite section at some point also. So that is my book review, and that is where I am officially ending this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of these makeup reviews, my creator shout out, the book review. Let me know your thoughts, of course, in the comments. And as always, if you enjoyed it, please make sure to give this one a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
Did you make it? Did you break free? Did you manage to be who you wanna be? Maybe somewhere you think about me too.